What up, everybody? It's Sam. Today is July 28th, and I'm doing my weekly health update video. If you are new to my channel, I have been documenting my recovery from post-vaccine long COVID. Had health issues that started in November of 2021. It is now July 2025, and I am almost better. And I wanted to make this video to go over a bit about the Epstein-Barr die-off and the Herx reactions, emotional Herx reactions, and really the stages of detox that I've learned about. To kind of give you an overview, I mean, I've tried everything from Rife Machine to fasts to grounding to, of course, healthy diet, juicing, juice fast, cleanses, and I've slowly been improving. And actually in April, it was the best that I had felt since I had gotten sick initially. I thought I was pretty much healed up. I had a very rough March, really rough March. I did actually some ivermectin and fenbendazole for 13 days. After that, I had felt pretty good. I thought I was getting back to my normal life. And then I moved here to Phoenix and I started getting dizzy. And that was the first time I'd really been dizzy as a symptom. And so I looked into it a bit more and I went and got some stem cells since I'd been feeling up for stem cells. And soon after the stem cells, where I got the vaccine in 2021 it hurt. It just started hurting again, which was the weirdest thing. And I had these really bad Herx detox die-off reactions. And I was surprised why I was having it because in April I'd felt so good. But what I've come to learn is that your body, as you're detoxing, you'll go through periods where you pretty much feel almost normal. Like you've reached a new high in your health, at least, from previous, not better than you were before all this happened, but you reach this new high and then you might feel good for like a month or so. And then all of a sudden you have a month or two, you feel bad. And why it's not all bad is your body is going in and it's like peeling back layers of the onions. So for example, for the first 3 years of this health thing, a lot of my symptoms were sinus related. They had tested all the stuff coming out of my nose. There was no infection, but I'd get this nasty, like chemically smelling green slime out of my nose. I haven't had that in like 3 months. I've also had significantly less pain and aches over my body. So that tells me some of the detoxing, at least a few layers, is done. But what I've found out is that most people suffering from a chronic illness they're suffering because of Epstein-Barr. And for me, when I was first trying to find a diagnosis, doctors said, "Oh, you have mono." But I was like, I already have had mono. This test shows I've had mono in the past. But over the first year or so of when I got sick, my mono antibodies more than doubled. So my doctors said, "Oh, you have an Epstein-Barr flare-up." And some of our bodies can detox it. Others have a tougher time. And unfortunately, mine's been a tougher time. And how you have to get rid of the Epstein-Barr virus from your body is through an alkaline diet. And I hadn't committed to an alkaline diet yet. So about a month ago, I found a new health coach, started committing to that. And what I noticed immediately was my pain went down, my sleep got better, energy levels higher. It's like, this is great. Like, I'm back on the right track. And then all of a sudden, 2 weeks ago, I was hit with something that had never happened to me before during my detoxes. And that was an emotional detox. Usually your Herx detox reactions are going to be more pain, maybe some tremors, nausea, vomiting, shakes, fatigue, you feel like you have a flu. I felt relatively fine, but I just couldn't stop crying. Felt like a little bitch, excuse my language. Usually I feel like I've got pretty sharp fortitude after everything that I've been through, but man, I just felt so emotional. And I talked to my mother, who I actually found out she did an alkaline diet 20 or so years ago after she was recovering from breast cancer. And she said that having emotional reactions was normal for her. She also has a friend who did an alkaline diet to detox and said that they felt these emotional symptoms at the end of their detox. And my health coach who I hired, he says to embrace it, because what it means is that your body's getting deep into the detox process where you're starting to release old emotions. But to top it off, and I put all this hypothesis of mine into ChatGPT, and it gave me a really good write-up. So if that all fits in the YouTube description, I'll put that there. But essentially, my main Herx detox symptoms now are anxiety, trouble sleeping, some shakes, tremors, just very, very emotion coming out of me. Sum it up, just emotion coming out of me, like crying, fear, just these emotions that seem to have been locked away for a while. And the reason why you feel these when you're detoxing from the Epstein-Barr is on an alkaline diet, the viruses lose their food source. And so when they lose their food source, they start to die off because viruses can't survive in an alkaline environment. And so because of that, when Epstein-Barr dies off, it leaves a neurotoxin that you then have to detox. But the neurotoxin is going to make you dizzy, nauseous, anxious, panic attacks, trouble sleeping, crying, all these emotions coming out. And so my update this week is that's still what I've been pretty much dealing with, is the emotional detox from my alkaline diet. I'm laying off the alkaline diet a bit this week. I've got travels planned that have been planned for the last year or so. So for this week, I'm eating some foods that are slightly more acidic, a little bit more meat, and I've already noticed that my health feels a little bit better. I know that there's still more to go, so I'm of course going to jump back into it. But man, I make these videos to share my story because I know there's other people out there suffering who could really use the help, and hearing stories like mine might help because there's not much, online about this and what the process is like. And for me, I'd gotten tested for everything when I first got sick, and it wasn't until they ruled everything else out and then they tested there was a new test that came out to test for spike proteins. Found 8% of my blood vessels still had the COVID spike protein. So we got rid of that, but I still felt meh. And essentially what my doctor said is the COVID vaccine weakened my immune system so much that the latent viruses like mono, Epstein-Barr, of course, and then Lyme has made a resurgence, caused a bunch of damage, and now those viruses are active in my body, so we have to kill them off. And you kill those viruses off with an alkaline diet. And when you're going through it, there's going to be different stages of the detox where you might have a few days you feel great, then you might have a week you can barely get out of bed. And that's just part of it. And the body, like for me, back in April when I felt really good, I thought I was all done with this, but that was just my body gearing up for the next level. And that was this emotional Epstein-Barr detox that has a lot of mental symptoms and side effects. So if you're going through a detox as well, obviously stick to it. We all have stuff to get rid of. You got to go through the tough times to get to the good times. And what I've learned is that most of us with chronic issues are dealing with Epstein-Barr mono. And to kill that off, you got to do an alkaline diet, and it's not going to feel good on the way out. You're going to have a lot of symptoms, but you got to stick with it to get that stuff out of your body, and you got to embrace it. So I'll put that right up from ChatGPT, kind of summarizing things. It talks about the stages of the detox, why you feel dizzy and nauseous and anxious on some detoxes because the Epstein-Barr neurotoxin, of course. And I think this is a pretty good source of information. And if you're out there suffering with health issues, hope this video finds you because, again, I'm making this because I know there's people out there that if I would have found this YouTube video or found these videos of what I had done, it would have sped up my recovery. So I hope that if you're out there suffering, you see these and you can learn from what I've learned and what I've done, my anecdotal experience, and you can feel better too. So God bless. Thanks for tuning in and have a great rest of your day.